doing the teacher training has had a secondary profound impact on my life, kind of like why Islam is true had this incredible impact. The asteroid hit Earth, and then doing the teacher training was the second asteroid hit Earth. That's how it kind of felt. The way that this content is presented is life-changing for me, and can be life-changing for a lot of people.
She didn't really find that faith within her. She took me to the side and she said, "You know what? I'm really happy that you're teaching this." And I was like brought to tears, and I was like, "SubhanAllah, like this is life-changing. It's bringing people back towards their deen and towards the oneness of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala."
There was one brother that had come to our class as he was researching Islam, entered our classes, and even before the course had completed, he had taken Shahada, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, through the Why Islam is True teacher training course, I was able to speak to inmates individually, and I fielded some questions from them. And eventually, alhamdulillah, after answering those questions, 3 of the inmates that I visited, they, alhamdulillah, accepted Islam.
I ended up arguing with I had a family member who was having a lot of doubts about Islam. The Why Islam is True course really, really, really helped me to keep my faith. When I engaged my family member who was initially giving me doubts about Islam, and I presented all the rational arguments from the Why Islam is True course to him, he understood them and he has come back to Islam since then, alhamdulillah.
And we were both shaking our heads going, "Oh my God, why didn't we know this 20 years ago when our kids were younger?" So, we had this complete Muslim mother guilt and remorse after seeing this course.
I had one 15-year-old. He said that before I took this course, I was doubting whether Islam was a true religion. And he says, after this course, I have no doubt.
I struggled with answering a lot of questions because being a new Muslim invites a lot of people to ask you, why did you become a Muslim? Then I took the Why Islam is True course, and everything was broken down in a simple manner. It took away all my uncertainty. Why Islam True course has actually given me 100% certainty in my religion.
So in his words, Islam was 98% certain, but other religions may be at 90% or 80%. I was able to sit down with him for a few sessions to go over the arguments for why Islam is true, and alhamdulillah, we were able to reach 100% on that level of certainty. Fast forward a few months, where this brother took what he had learned and actually had started conversations with multiple non-Muslim colleagues. And as a result of this, one of his acquaintances, a Punjabi Sikh, ended up converting to Islam.
We managed to reach out to quite a number of non-Muslims. Then there was this sister who signed up for the course after looking at our social media channels. And by the end of the 3rd session, she was convinced that Islam was true and she decided to take the Shahada.
I always liked to be a Muslim, right? I always liked surrounded being a Muslim, but I never knew that it's irrational. So when I found out that it's a rational and logical religion, I was so happy. I was so grateful that I finally got my answers to the questions, and then I was really, really happy.
So I was watching a lot of YouTube videos online, a lot of great dawah videos out there. So I think what Why Islam is True did was actually turn that from debate and attacking to dialogue and empathy. It not only quenched that sort of spiritual thirst that I was wanting from watching the videos online, but it also allowed me to connect those concepts that I had learned in physics and philosophy and see that through an Islamic lens.
But I mean, when I got introduced to Basira, really what captured my attention is, you don't have to go through years and years of Azhari education or things like that to know why you're a Muslim. And the second thing is hope that kids can have answers for questions that they face here in the West.
After taking this course, I feel more confident in talking about other religions because my kids, they do have questions. Mashallah, it is unlike any other course. And I think the greatest thing is that it helps you, it teaches you how to teach.
So the Why Islam is True also taught me how to diagnose people's problems, where their doubts are actually coming from. And then it gave me the tools to now, cure those doubts.
One of my students in the Why Islam is True class, alhamdulillah, he had a spiritual transformation, learning the rational arguments, and he was so excited that he started talking to family members, friends.
I taught the Why Islam is True course to the youth in my community when I was in Pittsburgh, and then those youth, their families were like, wow, like our kids themselves are interested in showing up on this class. For one person to come on the Day of Judgment who is guided to Islam because of us, that is one of the greatest blessings that we can have. And many parents have been pleased that their kids themselves now are starting to pray. Their kids themselves are becoming interested in Islam.
Cutting edge, revolutionary, truly changing the landscape of Islamic theology by making it relevant to the young Muslim generation of today, using clear, concise, reasonable, structured arguments to prove the existence of God. There's really nothing like it today. I highly recommend you check out the course with Basira Education. Assalamu alaikum.